Good morning, America, and good morning, whomever, wherever you are on this big planet. This is Dr. Cherry from Arizona. And yes, what is this? Well, we are under that shocking, unusual, weird, anything can happen type of cyber, electronic, UFO, astrology, new age, Uranic window. And I am not immune from those shocking news in the stars. We were sleeping, and in the morning, we heard of a little girl, our little doggy lady, making some noise like in the water. I said, "What's going on here?" And I put my foot on the ground, and there's 2 or 3 inches of water all over the house. Yeah, shit happened. Like you say, especially during this shocking window, I was not prepared to get up and swim. Usually I do that in the summer. I walk straight to my pool and take a dip, but not in December, just before Christmas. So here we are. I'm giving you the full proof that I'm not immune to the stars. So the question is, are you aware enough to see how this window has touched you personally, has touched you directly? Well, I tell you what, you may say, no. Wrong. It did. It did at a universal level when Pompeo said that Russia is pretty clearly behind the data breach. Yes, my friends. Yes, my friend. It is not a joke. But you know what? This window can also be positive. Okay. For some magical reason, we were driving some places and Terania says, hey, let's stop here. Let's stop here. So, you know what? Doing this type of original type window, anything can happen. So I said, okay. So we stopped and we end up in a place, I forgot the name, where literally Terania had a blast playing with all sorts of video games. Again, the energy, the uranic energy is very obvious. So if you want to have a good laugh and see my wife riding a bike, shooting monkeys and God knows what, just click in the newsletter, click on the link, okay, on my Facebook page and look at those videos. It was fun. It was fun. So we had an interesting day. And on the way back, we were at 32nd Street in Thomas last night. It was about 6, 7 o'clock at night. We went to eat some places. And oh my gosh, there was a bunch of people that completely and entirely, stopped the traffic. And then we were there for like a couple of minutes. And I said, that was just a car just before these guys blocking the road. So I could see people being frustrated from the other side, and they drove literally through the crowd, and then sudden release of energy, explosion. And one of these lunatics was firing his gun. So I said, "Oh, that's not good. That's dangerous." So as soon as I hear that, I just turn and then just went the other way and then like spin my wheels and it get the hell out of the way. So that tells you during this windows, anything can happen. So if you're in Phoenix and you know what the hell happened last night, let me know, because it was shocking. I mean, remember, explosion, sudden release of energy. When somebody fire a gun, it means explosion. And it was totally unexpected in the middle of the city to have this lunatic firing his gun. Anyway, so that's where we're at. So let's go back now to this incredible negative news about Russia. I'm not sure, but it's practically impossible for any of you, if you have been watching my videos last few months, saying, I worry about Russia. The tail of the dragon is moving in Scorpio. Scorpio was Russia, and Scorpio was also China. I worry about this country. I don't know what Putin is going to do. I have a feeling that he's going to die of a heart attack. That is something that will happen. You watch my words. But man, was I right? But it's only if you have read the newsletters, if you have watched my YouTube videos, and most of all, in every one of my radio shows, including Coast to Coast AM last October, I mentioned that I was worried about Russia. And here he goes, during this cyber, electronic, shocking, mind-boggling, crazy window, here he goes, this incredible negative news. So it is not over. Remember the dance of evil that I've been talking about since for months now. Okay, it is not over, my good friends. Okay, this dragon is going to affect you at a personal level, but it's going to affect countries. Then this is what is critical for you to go and read again this newsletter, which is associated with that window. And you're going to read what I wrote, okay, in 2019 and in the 2020 Nostradamus Dragon forecast. I wrote, last few years, I saw the real possibility of cyber attacks and our vulnerability became a reality. 2 or 3 days ago, Pompeo, Russia pretty clearly banned data breach. I wrote that. I also write that. I was also right about all along when I predicted the Russian rigged 2016 election. Okay, you can read the click. You can click on the link to see what I wrote then. A cold secret war is increasing dangerously with various enemies, China, Russia, North Korea, Syria, aiming for world power domination through cyber terrorism. I see some activity against the US and Europe power grid designed to disrupt many organizations and bring about more insecurity. And I give the date, but I'm not giving the date here because this is for the public. Put your hand on my 2021 Dragon forecast. Those predictions are universal and personal. You need to be prepared. You're going to read also, General, expect horrible terrorist act against the US grid, food and water poisoning from a foreign power in the US and the world during my 2020 to 2021 SOS to the world deadly window. Okay, the authority are blaming the weather and lightning and for all the fire crossing California, but many foreign arsonists are responsible for destroying nature and property right here in the US. The majority of the world is oblivious of my warning pertaining to the reptilian universal infestation. And last few years, I was seriously constricted by my internet enemies. Put it this way. This is why we need all the help we can get from all our curious and spiritual supporters to pass on my predictions. Okay, do you recall my words of my latest radio show? Okay, on January 2022, the Universal Dragon Stele will move into the deadly sign of Scorpio right on top of Russia and China. And I seriously worry about what Putin's gonna do. And it's all there. It's on my radio shows, on Coast to Coast. It's on my newsletters, and you've been watching my YouTube video, just go back to any of my SOS to the world daily window, Plutonic window, and you will hear me talking about Russia. Again, it is not a, yeah, I'm the best and all of you are losers. No, nothing to do with that. Okay, this is serious. Okay, Putin was born with the head of the dragon. The most powerful, progressive, positive sign you can get. The head of the dragon in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius was technology, cyber worlds, nukes, anything and everything to do with the internet. This sucker has the head of the dragon in Aquarius. America, July 4, 1776, has the tail of the dragon, not the head like Putin, okay? The tail, negative, in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius represents the sudden release of energy, my friend. Listen, pay attention. You remember Pearl Harbor, sudden release of energy, explosion airplane? Do you remember the 9/11 airplane hitting the towers, killing Americans? Do you remember all that was predicted? At least the 9/11, a year before in all details. Just Google Dr. Curie 9/11 famous predictions. It's printed, it's dated, it's there. So what am I worrying about? What am I worrying about? That America is prone to another sudden release of energy, as we have experienced with Pearl Harbor, as we have experienced with 9/11. It is serious. You know, Trump, on the other hand, again, has to be frank with the Russian in case he's forced to get out of this country. And he has billions of dollars invested in this country. He even gave a top of the last suite of one of his big hotels to Putin as a present. And I'm telling you, he will not care to get you down. He will not care to get the army, the navy, all these crazy minions to kill you, to maintain power. You need to pay attention. All that I wrote about President Trump stars. And because we have elected a president with negative stars, we are paying the price. We only have a few weeks to go. Hopefully he's not going to do anything that will be completely out of the ordinary and forcing hell or the war that I see because of his stars. We don't need that. That's why you need to help me. You need to pass on my my predictions. Okay, is that going to help? I don't think so. I don't think so. I can tell you there's going to be an earthquake tomorrow. Well, you're going to say, well, you need to give me the exact location and the exact time and the exact second. Well, maybe you should ask that to NASA, USGS, the Seismologist Institute of Pasadena, which are burning millions and billions of dollars. Dr. Turi does it all for free. At least I have the right, impeccable, undeniable timing if you paid attention to all my earthquake predictions, my good friends. That's where we're at. Those guys won't deal with me. You read it. I hope you did. You read it. I sent a very specific email to those guys, giving very specific, very precise dates for earthquake above 7.0. I give him 2 dates. And those 2 dates, we had the 7.2 and the 7.3. And these don't happen every day. Did they answer me? Did they email me? Did they want to learn from me? Of course not. I am not part of the clan. I'm not educated. I'm not a doctor. Even though that I know much better than those educated idiots. And I've been proving it to you so many times. And again, this is why you come back. You know what? I don't really like to give you this type of negative news, okay? But when I talk about the reptilians hijacking the mind of our scientists to create weaponry, to weaponize the weather, to use the genius of humans to produce a cyber attack, to destroy countries like the United States, this is not a joke. But again, dance on my head, as I said. People are going to think astrology is a pseudoscience still. They're going to think I'm a cuckoo because I talk about UFOs and me and being abductees and contactees with a special mission. People don't like to hear that. Why him? Why not me? A lot of these people have insecurity problems, inferiority complexes, and they don't like Dr. Turi being right, being real. And they would do anything on this planet nonstop to hurt my integrity, to ridicule me. But the fact of the matter is, one of the most devastating, incredible, mind-boggling, shocking news took place during my window. And it's not over if you look at the title. And when is the next one? Hey, or you want to hear more about Russia? I already know, but I ain't going to give it to you. You have to show me that you care if your life is important enough. Those windows are generated at the beginning of every month of the current year. All my VIPs, thank you guys for trusting me. All my Patreon supporters, thank you guys for helping me, okay? Now, all those people, they are smart, they are curious, and they get to know those windows at the beginning of the month. So if they have to go some places, wow, this window is not good here. I don't want to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and I don't want to die, okay? That's why I make those predictions and make those SOS to the world deadly windows. Knowledge is power, ignorance is evil, my friend. It is crucial that you started to understand God's cosmic design and respect the laws that was written in light, because God can only speak to us through the sign that I endlessly translate for you accurately. Yet, I'm still dealing with the subhumans, the envious, the jealous, the insecure, lunatics out there. They are a minority, God thanks for that. And they're the one who needs me the most, because if you are understanding me, if you vibrate at my cosmic speed, if you are a VIP or a Patreon, if you're being prepared and you avoid those windows or you drop triple attention during those cosmic winds, if you got to go somewhere because life doesn't stop, okay, then you're a smart one. So they are the minority. The sad reality is also that you have good friends of mine, good friend in bracket, George Norrie, Tom Deinheisers in Coast to Coast, okay, begging me, asking me not to talk about the election, not to talk about COVID-19, while an army of their so-called prophets, okay, talk about it. Why would they do that to Dr. Thury? Because they didn't want to hear that their president would not be reelected. They didn't want to hear that them dancing and singing like they did for years would not happen. They didn't want to hear anything about COVID-19. They cannot face the truth. They cannot handle the truth. And these people are in a position to help me to warn you. Instead, they're promoting somebody who thinks he is Nostradamus. Somebody who is using modern astrology, for God's sake. It doesn't use, it translates, it does translation of Nostradamus quatrain. It can't do it. You gotta be French. You gotta speak a local dialect called the Provençal. Most of all, you have to use divine astrology, which has nothing to do with modern astrology. You have to focus and concentrate on the dragon, which he knows nothing about it. The good news is that I do have books, The Power of the Dragon, over 500 pages of information. You should know, you must know what is your natal dragon. Imagine Putin, if he was aware from Dr. Thury, okay, that he was born with the head of the dragon in Aquarius, which means anything he touched involving technology and all the spies and the investment that he does with all these engineers and scientists involving cyber attacks, if he knew from Dr. Thury that he's going to be only successful, how good is that for America? And here I am in this country, in the United States, committed, because this is my home since 1984. Okay, it is my home. That's why it's important for me to do all that I can to help the United States of America. And I'm still French, and yet I feel more American than some of these freaking losers who are going against me because they don't get it. They're morons. It is serious, my friend. You had my warnings. Anytime you're going to hear about Russia, the cyber attack will be taking place during my SOS to the world deadly windows, those that are plutonic, not those that are just finished, shocking. You got the videos to enjoy. Now, this is serious. You're talking about the sign of death, the sign of drama, okay? And if you think COVID-19 is over because we have a vaccine, good luck to you. This vaccine is mutating to something that cannot be controlled. Is it okay, Dr. Thury, if I take the vaccine? I'll tell you what, use logic. I trust science. You know, when I was a kid, my dad died because he had very, very serious lung problems, being captivated by the German, no food, cold, wet, no medication. He was very vulnerable. So immune system went down the hill and he got a very serious bad disease on his lungs. Okay? And if we did not get an injection, me and my siblings will be dead. So here is your answer about the vaccine. But if you have been indoctrinated, okay, if you've been taught since the get-go that COVID-19 is a joke, masks don't work, and if you believe that vaccine can only kill you, be my guest. But if I get the opportunity to get vaccinated, you bet I will, because I'm 71 years old. I'm not like you, 20, 30, 40-year-old kid out there, okay, with a strong immune system. If you want me to guide you Maybe I should do the right thing and cast my imagination, my fear, and all this conspiracy bullshit stopping me being alive. Well, that's your decision. I mean, how can I go against months or years of digesting your conspiracy bull in one little video? And that's why, again, David Icke has so many followers, because he tapped on the fear, he tapped on conspiracy. He cannot change the tune of his song. He has to be negative. He has to slave for the reptilians, because this is how he makes a living. And when I faced him and confronted him, telling him that nobody's going to change into a lizard and the ET is already in your head, of course he didn't want to accept it. And our good friendship went down the drain. My friends, we are living in some very, very dangerous time. Okay. I would not worry as much about Russia than with China. China is a very different country. But for some reason, those guys, they're communists, so they're friends. They have the same cosmic vibration, so to speak. And they don't like America, the country that leads the world, the country of freedom, the country that has been put in a box by a president that was born with a hell of a lot of negative stars, that's cursing us with foreigners, foreign land, foreign affairs, foreign power, education, and the law. Yet he's still trying instead of getting out. I mean, look at it. Because of him, we have this fantastic vaccine. What an accomplishment, Mr. President. You deserve all the support and all the endorsement and all the critical values for finally, after pushing so hard, making this vaccine available to us. Instead, you're pushing out conspiracy because your ego is hurt. Okay? Because your stars are so self-centered. You don't care if 3,000 people in this country are dying every day. And this number is going to grow. My friend, you need to understand, during a shocking window, you might get shot. I just gave you a real full example to what happened to us. You can have great time playing video games by accident, but driving somewhere. Your wife said, let's stop. Okay. You can also be at the wrong place at the wrong time during one of my Platonic window, where the reptilians have fun to kill human beings who are unconscious or critical, agnostic, atheist, or religious fanatics who says, oh, I can talk to Dr. Terry, I'm gonna go to hell, not knowing that you're already on hell in your ignorance and your fears. Exactly what the reptilians want. Your fears, insecurity, chaos, misunderstanding. They want this priceless piece of property, piece of real estate that we call Mother Earth. We cannot, and the Draconians will not allow those entities to win. But meantime, they can do a hell of a lot of damage in between. Remember, the future is nothing else than the reincarnation of your thought. You see this? Tell me, what was this? What was inside this 100 years ago? What was this 50 years ago? What was that 15 years ago? What was this 5 years ago? Did not exist. Understand, it did not exist. We have been made in the image of God. We are more than blood, flesh, and nerves. We are human beings with an incredible power to create our reality for good or for worse, for the Draconians' love and light, respect, integrity, or for the reptilians' chaos, death, drama. Which side are you? The day or the night? Remember, you cannot have an up without a down, a God without a devil, a front without a back. That's why you have 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 sides of the brain. 2 weeks, 1 month, 6 months, 6 months, 1 year. Everything is split. Choose which way you want to go. Do you want to go to darkness, unhappiness, depression, jealousy, enviousness, negativity, killing, destroying, hurting? Or do you want to go for love, light, respect, education, cosmic consciousness, and work for the Draconis agenda, which is to bring us all the blessing of the new age of Aquarius? an age that I'm leading in my own world with you. That's where we are. Put your hand on my 2021 Nostradamus Dragon forecast. Better yet, become a VIP. Understand that if you do not respect the laws written in light by your creator, you will not allow the heavy penalty to get to your butt. Knowledge is power. Ignorance is evil. Remember, your future is nothing else than the reincarnation of your thought. Show your support for Dr. Terry. Become a VIP. Read, let us guide you. Because all we have in our heart is to help you, is to guide you, and is to save you a hell of a lot of trouble you do not need. All right, my good friend, pay attention to the next SOS to the world Plutonic deadly window, because Russia will make the news again. Okay? And a lot of negativity will happen. And why am I so negative? Because if you look at compass, it's pointing out north. So I'm using this negativity. I'm using it so that you can realize the damage that we all creating because of our thoughts. But I have to go and get you where you are, in the depth and the negativity in the darkness of the reptilians, and try all my best to bring you to the light, to hope, to the future, to the new age of Aquarius. All right, my good friend, make it a beautiful day. Bye-bye.